Hi everyone, my name is Allison Kepler and I decided to do my research paper and presentation on Claude Monet. I've always been drawn to Monet's work, but I've never done an in-depth research on him. I think I'm drawn to his work because it brings me peace and serenity if I've had a long day or if I'm just stressed out about something. And he's also my inspiration for pursuing artistic outlets. So when I was a child, I took an art class, and one of our assignments was to recreate one of his paintings, and I absolutely loved this, and I threw myself into the process. So Monet is one of the main reasons why I love and appreciate art. Monet was born Oscar Claude Monet. He was born November 14th, 1840 in Paris, France, and he died of lung cancer on December 5th, 1926 in Giverny, France. He is the son of Louise Justine Aubry and Claude Adolphe Monet. His father and uncle sold supplies to ships, so with Monet being an artist, he didn't exactly fit the family mold. And he grew up and spent his early life in Le Havre, Normandy. Monet was a French painter and can be accredited with the name founder of Impressionism. Monet used quite a limited color palette and banished browns and earth colors altogether. He used dappled and quick brush strokes, and something unique to Monet is that he painted his subjects multiple times in different lighting. So for example, Monet's Haystacks is a 6-part series that is realistic imagery from his life in Giverny, France. Each one is painted at a different time of year, and you can really see the difference in light among them. And my personal favorite of the series is At End of Summer Morning Effect, because it has red hues that really show a summer haze. Impressionism, as mentioned earlier, is considered to be one of the first modern art movements. Impressionists loosened their brushstrokes and lightened their color palettes. They used bold colors and loose handling of objects. Before Monet was a great artist, he was influenced by many other artists. The first one I'm going to talk about is Eugene Boudin. Monet met Boudin where he lived his early life in Le Havre, France, and during this time Monet was very successful with drawing caricatures for a living, and Boudin noticed his unique talent and his attention to detail. He recognized his skill and asked him to come to Normandy to paint with him, which Monet finally agreed to. And Boudin can very well be credited with Monet's work with light. He told Monet many times during their study in Normandy, "I want to see the light." Basically meaning he wants to see the light in the paintings and the difference of light. Another great artist that influenced Monet was Edward Manet. Some of Monet's techniques of landscaping were influenced by Manet. Monet moved away from the linear perspective and experimented with bolder colors and loose handling. And there are many other influences on Monet's life and as an artist, but Boudin and Monet are the most noteworthy. And pictured here are a few of Monet's caricatures that he drew while he was living in Normandy. Monet has several notable and well-known works that have inspired many other artists and spectators. The first one being Water Lilies. It's not the first chronologically, it's the first I'm going to talk about. But the Water Lilies series depicts Monet's flower garden at his home in Giverny, France, and was the main focus of his art during the last 30 years of his life. Towards the end of his life, his wife passed away and he was filled with grief. This theme is communicated in this series by the dark water and the overcast weather depicted in his paintings. This series is important because it truly shows how he felt during this time. During this time, Impressionists wanted the viewers to pay more attention to how the artist felt rather than focusing on what the artist was painting. A very important work that coined the term Impressionism is Impressionism Sunrise. The quick brushstrokes and loose interpretation of figures clearly demonstrates the style that came to be Impressionism. And as I've talked about before, Monet's series called Haystacks was also a very important work of his, and it is still used as a reference for other artwork, or it's just influenced others to make their own work based on that. Monet's work is still very relevant and it's beloved by many. At the top of the slide here is Impressionism Sunrise. The next two are two of his series Water Lilies, and the bottom three are from his Haystack series, and the bottom right corner is my favorite, which I've mentioned earlier, which is At End of Summer Morning Effect. Monet gained a public following and found financial success in the late 1880s and 1890s. He found his first success when he was 15 years old drawing caricatures. These drawings were very well observed and had a lot of detail, not like some of the caricatures you see today where they accentuate like your nose if it's big or something like that, but he actually focused on detail and what the person actually looked like while still having the characteristics of a caricature. Monet was very successful because he was a highly skilled impressionist. Monet was given a lot of great publicity in his early life. His artwork was displayed at Musée de Luxembourg in Paris. This gave him a great opportunity to be seen by critics and other spectators. So his work and the word of his work got out fast, and he gained popularity very quickly after that. Monet is a very important person to art history because he spearheaded Impressionism and gave it a name. He has influenced many people in many different ways, whether it be to improve on their own artistic ability, finding an outlet to release stress, or just the mere appreciation of art. Monet continues to influence our daily life. I've already mentioned Monet's importance to art history and the world in general, but I wanted to point out the two images I added on this slide, and it proves that Monet inspires artists of all ages. When I was in school, I recreated his Water Lilies series. I can't find that artwork, so I just found these on Google, but it's pretty much what they look like. I hope y'all enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions or comments, you can put it in the forum in Moodle, or you could just put it down below. Thank you all so much for listening. Bye. And this is just my works cited page.